Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from cryptid sightings to glitches in our matrix that may just leave you shocked yet craving more. Ready? Let's jump in. How far do you think the government will go to keep its eyes on you? Well, you know what? Before you answer that, watch this. A family noticed some strange birds on their property that just would not go away. Worried, they started paying attention and recording them, till one day they realized the birds were dead. They decided to leave them alone. What you are currently seeing are the remains of those birds. The only problem is, these birds have been dead for about 8 weeks. Why is that a problem, you ask? Well, when living things die, you are likely to find maggots, worms, and a little, if not total, composition after a few days. These birds, on the other hand, look exactly the same after 8 weeks of being dead. This naturally got the family curious and they started to investigate. They got closer, took the birds, and noticed that they had chips in them. Why would birds have chips in them unless they aren't birds at all? The family is actually convinced that they're drones. 10 years ago, I would have laughed at this, but after everything we've seen in recent years and some of the inventions we've shared on this page, it wouldn't be too surprising. The big question now is, if they are really drones, why are they being watched, and who could have been responsible? Now, many who saw the clip believe it's the government, while others think the whole thing is just fake. What say you guys? Moving on from bird drones likely being used by the government, we move on to extraterrestrials peeping extraterrestrials. And no, I'm not joking. Take a look. This was recorded by a man who felt he was being watched. He moved to his window and his eyes couldn't believe what he was seeing. He took out his camera and recorded and stood there watching with its weirdly shaped head and eyes. Spooked by this, the young lad uploaded it online hoping it was some sort of prank. It turned out that no one around his neighborhood had seen this. The paranormal community picked up on it though and thought it might be an extraterrestrial exploration. While that sounds interesting and a tad convincing, Julius had a lot to say on the matter. He pointed out that the clip was intentionally made blurry to prevent the CGI in the clip from being obvious. He adds that even if there were aliens on our planet, they won't be moving from house to house peeping through windows. They'll have highly advanced technology for that. Sounds convincing, but what do you guys think? Do you agree with him? Speaking of extraterrestrials, what do you think is going on here? In this clip, we see a blue light shooting to the sky from the ground. This is obviously not normal, but that prompted the one who recorded this clip to do so. He shared the clip looking for answers, but you and I have seen the clips like this multiple times. Do you remember any of the explanations we gave to them? If Project Bluebeam was one of the answers that came to mind, give yourself a pat on the back. For those new to the channel, Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory that claims NASA and the United Nations are working together to implement a new world order by staging a fake alien invasion or a false religious awakening. It was proposed by Canadian journalist Serge Monast in the 1990s. The theory suggests that advanced holographic technology would be used to simulate the Second Coming or other significant religious events, manipulating the masses into accepting global authoritarian rule. It has been widely debunked, yet continues to circulate due to clips like this. While many think this is Project Bluebeam at play, there are a number of individuals who think this may be aliens at work. You've seen the clip, so what do you think? When I saw this clip, I was so excited. I kept asking myself if this was the clip that confirmed Bigfoot's existence once and for all. Without thinking too much about it, I got Julius involved and asked him what he thought about this convincing Bigfoot footage. He stood still for a few seconds and then went to his laptop. After about 15 minutes, he returned and told me this was a scene mirroring one from a movie. The movie is actually titled Bigfoot, The Unforgettable Encounter. This scene is actually being created using AI to mirror a scene from the movie. You can imagine my disappointment. I didn't even watch the original clip. I went to the comments section of the original post, and surely it was there. Another person also mentioned that a bear would run from a Bigfoot, which makes sense when you think about it. A fully matured Bigfoot would be larger and definitely more intimidating than a bear. And how did I fail to fact-check this? I'm not going to hear the end of it from Julius. Have any of you watched the movie? Did you recognize the scene? Let us know in the comments. Moving on, let's take a look at something that's been confirmed to be authentic. At first glance, this looks like an ordinary clip of a family out to camp, but pay attention to the left side of the frame. Did you catch it? A ghostly figure moves from behind the boy using his palms to block the camera. It appears to be moving on all fours and has this whitish, translucent, or ghostly look to it. We've tried to compare it to other cryptids and otherworldlies that we know, but nothing comes up. This has us wondering what the family of this family is, and who exactly took the clip. They didn't notice while they were there, though. They only noticed when going over the clips. Like I love to say, well, you've seen the clip, so what are your thoughts on this? Up until now, I've always thought of biological weapons in terms of viruses and deadly bacteria. This next clip, however, challenges that. This starts off as though a ray of light was moving through the bushes. A few seconds in and you realize that it's not necessarily a ray of light. It's something else entirely. It's almost like a human torch moving through the bushes, and the interesting thing is, the bushes actually catch fire. That's something you don't see every day. Given the fact that we don't necessarily live in a world with mutants and superheroes, I'm tempted to think that the individual here might have been experimented on by the military for military purposes. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but that's the only thing that makes sense right now. Either that or a man's on fire and moving through the bushes, or the clip has been doctored and edited. What does your gut tell you is going on? Ever heard of the term black rain? No? Well, today's your lucky day. You'll get to watch it as well. Confused? And yes, those are actual fishes falling from the sky. It's not something you see every day, but it's something that actually happens. Black or animal rain is a phenomenon where fish and other small aquatic animals fall from the sky. It has been reported in various parts of the world. It occurs when strong storms, waterspouts, or tornadoes pick up fish, frogs, and other small animals from bodies of water and carry them through the air. Eventually, these animals are dropped, sometimes miles away from where they were originally lifted. Though rare, this occurrence has been documented throughout history, with some notable instances happening in Honduras, known locally as lluvia de peces, which is essentially rain of fish. It usually coincides with strong weather patterns, and is not related to any supernatural or mysterious causes, despite some myths or conspiracy theories surrounding it. If you were a daredevil with an appetite for paragliding, this next one's for you. This paraglider assumed he was all alone up there and decided to have fun and immortalize his adventure using the gadget known to mortals as camera. As he recorded himself, he noticed that there was something else up there with him. He started to film it, and after filming for a while, it hit him. It was not a machine or small aircraft, it was actually a small being flying through the crowds. Try as much as he did, he couldn't put a finger on what he was dealing with. He uploaded the clip online, which brought different views and opinions. Some thought it was a man with a jetpack, whereas others thought it was a balloon. Another mentioned a Black Knight satellite, but I'm not sure that's it. You've seen the clip, right? So what do you think? A group of Bigfoot researchers ventured deep into the woods of Montana, a known hotspot for sightings of the elusive creature. They set out after receiving a tip about a recent Bigfoot sighting in the area, eager to capture something on camera. As they set up their equipment and panned the camera around the dense forest, everything seemed still and quiet. Initially, they didn't notice anything unusual, but it wasn't until they reviewed the footage later that they saw it. Between the trees, there was a face. The creature's head was domed, and its fur blending seamlessly with the shadows of the forest. Its brow was creased, and it seemed to be carefully watching the group from a distance. The Bigfoot stood there for a while, almost as if it was observing them before it finally disappeared in the woods. The creature's slightly brownish-black fur blended so well with the tree trunks that it was nearly impossible to spot it unless you're looking very closely. Could this be solid evidence of Bigfoot's existence? What do you think? Next, we visit West Africa, Côte d'Ivoire, to be specific, where someone believes they captured a sign from God. Take a look. It looks like a blue beam shooting into the atmosphere, doesn't it? It's therefore no surprise that when this was uploaded, many assumed that it was blue beam tech at play. But is it though? Well, the one who captured it believes it's a sign from God. Some who saw it online thought it was a cloud flare. A few others assumed the clouds looked like that because of the light from the sun passing them. According to them, the size of the cloud, the number, and the angle at which the sun hits them are what's contributing to this odd color of the clouds. While that sounds logical, it's not so exciting. Blue beam sounds a bit more exciting, but there's also the issue of realism. Anyway, what do you think we're dealing with?
Couldn't AI, even in this moment, just with the technology that we have before us, be used in some fairly destructive ways?
You can make a swarm of assassin drones for very little money by just taking the Face ID chip that's used in cell phones.
Ever thought about AI-powered assassin drones? Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, according to Elon Musk, it's not so far-fetched. In fact, he warns that he already has the tech to build them today. Scary, huh? But don't panic just yet. Musk has an idea to keep us safe. He's all about human-AI symbiosis, where humans and machines work together. How? Through Neuralink. Yeah, we're talking electrodes and tiny wires implanted in your brain to give you cognition, a serious upgrade. Think of it like having a smartphone in your head, helping you think faster and smarter. And Musk, he's confident this could happen within a decade. What do you think? Is this something you would subscribe to, or does it give you end-of-the-world vibes?
And having a small explosive charge and a standard drone, and have them just do a grid sweep of the building until they find the person they're looking for, ram into them and explode. You can do that right now. No new technology is needed.
The ocean remains one of the most mysterious places on Earth, filled with secrets that continue to baffle even the most seasoned explorers. This footage shared online recently adds yet another layer of intrigue to the deep sea's countless mysteries. Captured by a deep-sea camera, you can see a massive creature swimming by, and the sheer size alone is enough to leave you in awe. Its head has a striking resemblance to that of a crocodile, long with sharp, menacing teeth. At first glance, it's hard to believe something like this could still exist in our oceans today. However, after some research, it was identified as a mosasaurus. Yes, a mosasaurus. The giant marine reptile was believed to have gone extinct over 66 million years ago, but here it is, seemingly alive and swimming. This creature was a dominant predator during the late Cretaceous period, and its size and power rivaled that of modern sharks. So is this creature truly no longer extinct, or is this just edited footage? Can you spot what's odd in this image? Take a close look. If you guessed Bigfoot, you're absolutely right. On the right side of the image, you can see a massive creature towering over the trees around it. The beast looks to be at least 8 feet tall or more, dwarfing everything in its path. Just take a look at its head. It's distinctly domed, and you can clearly make out its massive arms hanging by its side. What's even more striking is the clarity of the image. This might just be one of the clearest sightings of Bigfoot ever recorded. What do you think? A woman had gone to a cemetery to pay her respects to a deceased relative. It was a peaceful visit, or so she thought, until something chilling happened. As she walked near one of the walls, her attention was suddenly drawn to something eerie, something she couldn't believe she was seeing. There, in a small hole in the cemetery wall, was a face. A pale, haunting face stared directly at her. Its skin was ghostly white, almost blending with the dull stone of the wall, and its expression was disturbingly blank. For a moment, she froze, unable to process what she was seeing. In a place like a cemetery, the last thing anyone expects is to see something or someone peeking through a hole in the wall. Terrified, she quickly realized that this wasn't an ordinary person. The pale complexion, the unnatural stillness, it had to be a ghost. What else could it be in such a place? This video was captured by a woman during a casual stroll down the road when something unexpected fell from the sky, a tiny spear-shaped object made out of wood. Now, this wasn't just some twig or random debris. It had a distinct shape, almost resembling a miniature spear or sword with fine detail that made it look handcrafted. The strange part, it seemed to come from nowhere, just dropping down in front of her. Naturally, the woman was baffled. How could something like this fall from the sky unless it had been dropped by a small creature? That's when she had a whimsical thought. Could this tiny spare belong to a fairy? Maybe one had been flying by and accidentally let it slip from their grip. The size of the object, its design, and the mysterious way it appeared certainly added fuel to the idea of a magical explanation. While it's easy to dismiss, who's to say the strange things could be happening right above us? This footage was taken by a hiker in Michigan, capturing what could be one of the most terrifying moments of his life. As he was filming his adventure through the dense woods, out of nowhere, this enormous bipedal hairy creature walked by. The creature was massive, towering over the trees and bushes, its stride heavy and deliberate. It looked like something straight out of a legend. The man, recounting his experience, said he was paralyzed with fear, unable to move as he watched the creature pass. His heart raced, but the creature, seemingly unaware of his presence, continued on its path, disappearing into the wilderness. The hiker couldn't believe what he had just witnessed. He believed he'd come face to face with none other than Bigfoot. What's even more interesting is how close this encounter was. The man was mere feet away from the legendary cryptid, and yet the creature didn't seem to notice him at all. It's a chilling thought. How many other times might Bigfoot have been that close to someone without them even knowing? Could this footage be one of the rare encounters with the elusive creature? I cannot stress enough just how unreliable and concerning our food supplies have become. This footage is a perfect example of why we should all be paying attention. Just take a look. Someone is literally painting apples red. Yes, painting them. How is this even remotely healthy? Think about it. If we're resorting to painting our fruit to make it look fresh or appealing, what does that say about the state of our food industry? We've taken things too far. We cannot just grow apples anymore, naturally, without having to alter them. It makes you wonder how much of what we see in stores is even real, or if it's all just manufactured to look perfect. It's becoming harder and harder to trust what we eat. Leeches have been used in various medical treatments for hundreds of years, primarily for their ability to improve blood circulation and remove toxins from the body. But what you're about to see in this footage takes this ancient practice to a whole new, unsettling level. In this video, a woman has not one but two leeches attached directly on each of her eyes. Yes, you heard that right, one leech on each pupil. It's as disturbing as it sounds. You can almost feel the discomfort just by watching. The leeches cling to her eyes, moving slightly as they do what leeches are known for, sucking blood. What's truly shocking is the fact that this is happening on one of the most sensitive parts of the human body. Leeches have been historically used to treat conditions by improving blood flow, particularly in reconstructive surgery or to reduce swelling after injury. However, using them on the eyes, well, this raises a lot of questions. Could this be an alternative treatment for some rare condition, or is it simply a bizarre fringe medical practice that goes beyond the ordinary? What do you think? Human face masks have been making rounds lately, with people noticing individuals whose facial features seem unnervingly artificial, almost like they're wearing a mask. It's eerie, as though someone is hiding beneath, concealed from the naked eyes. You see these faces that don't quite move naturally, eyes that lack depth, skin that seems too smooth or stiff. But what or who could be lurking beneath these masks? Some people speculate these could be interdimensional beings slipping into our world and trying to blend in without raising suspicion. Others throw out theories about reptilians, the famous conspiracy suggesting that shape-shifting creatures walk among us. Could these masks be part of their disguise, a way to interact with humans while keeping their true form hidden? Or maybe these masks belong to regular humans with sinister motives, aiming to deceive us for some unknown reason. With technology so advanced, could this also be a new type of hyper-realistic disguise designed to make us question what's real and what's not? It's unsettling to think about. What's truly behind these faces? Is it someone or something trying to get closer to us without being noticed?
That is just a massive
You can see
footprint.
the toes.
Yes.
That's so neat.
I didn't expect to find anything.
Me
We haven't
neither.
had much luck in the
Let me get a
wintertime.
picture to see.
A man and his partner were hiking in the mountains when they stumbled upon something unusual. Footprints. But these weren't just ordinary prints. They were massive. And what's even more curious is that there were two distinct sizes. One set of prints was slightly larger than the other. Now here's where it gets even weirder. The prints appeared to be sidestepping, almost as if something was shuffling its feet. This strange movement left them puzzled, but according to some, this sidestepping gait is linked to a well-known behavior of Bigfoot. It's said that when Bigfoot is stalking its prey, it moves stealthily, sidestepping to avoid startling whatever it's hunting. The location of these prints, a known Bigfoot hotspot in the Siberian mountains. The couple even reported hearing eerie noises earlier in the day, which they now believe could have been linked to the creature. The size, the strange walk, and the timing all point to one thing: Bigfoot. What do you think?
We're going to have to measure this too.
Okay.
Found a Bigfoot that was sidestepping right here. He's doing this little shuffle sides.
Next up, we've got our bonus segment, which features this strange-looking fish that was spotted along a riverbank, and it's certainly turning heads. I know there are some of you who know the creatures of the sea like the back of your hand. Consider this your personal trivia. Can you recognize this fine but strange specimen? Can you share any facts about the creature? Please do that in the comments section and start your answer with the word bonus. The right combination of answers may just make it into our bonus questions Hall of Fame. All the best.
Incredible.
A strange and captivating arc appeared recently in Birmingham, UK. It stretched across the horizon like a translucent red dome, glowing faintly against the darkening sky. The sight was breathtaking, almost otherworldly, yet it left many people feeling a deep sense of curiosity and perhaps a little unease. The arc's unusual color and shape made it stand out from anything typically seen in the sky. Was it just a rare atmospheric event? A unique weather phenomenon that we simply don't see often, or could it be something more otherworldly? Some have speculated that it might be an alien sign or perhaps even a portal to another dimension shimmering there on the edge of our reality. What do you think?
Incredible.
Hello? Right.
This footage was captured by a man who decided to visit what many believe is the site of a gruesome murder. The location, a dark, forgotten tunnel. It was late at night, prime time for something spooky to happen, and he went there hoping to catch something on camera. According to local stories, a woman and her baby were brutally murdered there, their bodies pushed into the murky water that still runs alongside the tunnel. Chilling, right? The man had heard these disturbing tales, and being curious, he set out to investigate. The tunnel itself was unsettling enough, cold, dark, with the kind of silence that creeps up on you. But things took a bizarre turn when, while filming the water, he noticed something disturbing. A dead deer floating in the water. The already eerie atmosphere became even more oppressive, like the place itself was trying to warn him. But he pressed on, determined to see if he could experience anything paranormal. So standing in the tunnel, he began shouting, asking if anyone or anything was there. And then something happened. At first, sound he heard was a faint echo of a baby crying. He didn't stick around to find out more. Without wasting a second, he turned and sprinted out of the tunnel as fast as he could. But here's the question. Was that the ghost of a child who met such a tragic fate in that very spot? It could be the lingering spirit of the baby crying out from beyond. And let me ask you, would you dare venture into a place like this knowing what happened there? I don't know about you, but I definitely would not.
Hello? Right.
This disturbing footage was shared online, and it's unlike anything we've seen before. In the video, there is a person sitting on a train, but something is terribly wrong. The figure appears to be headless, its body bent backwards in an unnatural position. As if that wasn't strange enough, a thick, dark liquid is pouring out from where the head should be, slowly spilling onto the floor of the train. The sight is unsettling to say the least. The liquid looks almost too dark to be blood, giving it an otherworldly, sinister quality. But the question remains, what exactly is happening here? Is this some kind of elaborate hoax or special effect, or is it something much darker, something that can't be explained away so easily? After heavy rainfall, a woman captured something truly unusual, a thick drop of rain clinging to a leaf with an insect seemingly trapped inside. The insect was wiggling, struggling to break free from the water's grasp. At first glance, it seemed like a simple occurrence, an insect caught in a raindrop, right? But when you look closer, it almost feels unnatural. The way the water enveloped the insect, holding it there, motionless except for its faint, desperate movements, gave the moment an eerie quality. Could it be just a rare natural phenomenon, or is there something more to this strange moment? Possession is a topic that sparks heated debates across various traditions and religions. Some affirm believers that these events are real, while others dismiss them as symptoms of mental illness. It's a polarizing subject with passionate arguments on both sides. In this bizarre footage, a young girl wakes up in the middle of the night, startled by loud banging sounds coming from the kitchen. Nervous but curious, she grabs her phone and starts recording as she heads toward the noise. What she finds is deeply unsettling. There, standing in front of the oven, is her mother, but something's off. Her mother is repeatedly banging the oven door, lost in the action as if in a trance. Confused and frightened, the girl calls out to her, but the moment her mother turns round, things take a terrifying twist. Her mother's gaze is vacant, her face twisted in a way that almost seems inhuman. Then, without warning, she lets out a horrifying, unnatural sound. It's nothing like her mother's voice, something much darker. Suddenly, her mother starts moving towards her, the strange noise still coming from her. Panicked, the girl sprints back upstairs and the footage cuts off. Was this a disturbing display of possession, or could it have been a case of sleepwalking? Sleepwalking can explain strange behaviors, but the unnatural sounds and the mother's eerie gaze leaves much to wonder. What do you think? Could there be something much more sinister at play? One stormy night, as lightning and thunder danced across the sky, an observer spotted something truly bizarre. Up in the sky were 4 glowing orbs, 2 on the left and 2 on the right, aligned horizontally. These lights looked strange and out of place. They weren't stars, and their movement was equally odd. As lightning lit up the sky, the orbs blinked and shifted positions, revealing something even more intriguing. It almost appeared as though the lights were attached to some kind of craft hidden behind the clouds. The way they illuminated in sync with the lightning gave the impression of a large, unseen object lurking in the stormy skies, with just these lights peeking through like glowing orbs. But here's the catch. Unlike typical UFO sightings, this craft wasn't round. Its shape was unclear, shrouded in clouds, but the positioning of the lights suggests something unusual. So what could it be? What's the first thing you do when you're about to put on your shoes? If your answer is simply stick your feet in, you might want to rethink that habit.
Oh man, what is this thing? Oh my god, he is mad. That is a big spider.
In a shocking moment, a man found a very large spider lurking inside his shoe. Now, this particular spider didn't look like it could bite, but honestly, who wants to take the risk? In the clip, you'll see the man absolutely freak out as he hurriedly yanks off his shoe, only to discover the unexpected intruder, a tarantula. Yes, a full-grown tarantula had made itself at home right inside his footwear. Believe it or not, this isn't an isolated incident. There are countless reports of people finding spiders and sometimes some things even more unsettling creatures hiding in their shoes. So next time before you slip your feet in, make sure to double-check what might be lurking inside.
Always check your shoes.
There's a gigantic spider that climbed out of my shoe.
Oh my god!
The man behind the camera captured an unexpected and candid moment. A plane flew overhead, releasing a strange red powder that covered his entire compound. As he surveyed the scene, he noticed the red substances had stained everything in sight. His car was covered in it, and even the passenger side window had been shattered. The camera pans round, revealing a smoky atmosphere and a fire truck parked nearby. It quickly becomes clear that there has been a fire outbreak, and the red powder is in fact a fire retardant. This substance, often dropped by planes during wildfires, is used to help slow the spread of the flames, creating a barrier to protect homes and other areas at risk.
Oh my god!
In this unsettling footage, a man was secretly filming an airplane offloading what appeared to be dead bodies, all wrapped in white cloth. The scene is eerie as the bodies are slowly transferred from the plane on a moving lift. One after the other, It almost feels like something out of a horror movie, but this is real. So what's exactly going on here? There's no official explanation provided in the footage, leaving us with more questions than answers. Could this be a routine procedure we don't know about, or is it something more sinister happening behind the scenes? One thing's for sure, there's an eerie silence surrounding the scene, and it leaves you wondering, who are these people and what's happening to them? What do you think is happening in this mysterious footage? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. The image you're looking at here shows what scientists uncovered beneath the Antarctic ice using an underwater drone. This discovery was part of groundbreaking research led by oceanographer Anna Whaling, with the findings published in Science Advances. Their focus was on understanding how global warming is affecting the Antarctic ice melt, a crucial concern in the ongoing climate crisis. The team deployed a 20-foot-long underwater drone named RAN to dive deep below the ice. What it found was nothing short of astonishing. Ocean waves carving out intricate, almost alien-like formations in the ice. These formations provide important clues about how melting occurs and the role ocean currents play in accelerating the process. This discovery is crucial for predicting sea level rises more accurately, helping scientists develop models to forecast future risks. It could also pave the way for stronger protections for coastal communities that are increasingly vulnerable to flooding as sea levels rise.
That's why they probably still doing it, just doing whatever the number is. It's a phone number.
That's not a phone number, that's hella
Nah,
number.
they gonna keep doing it.
I'm not sure where this footage was taken, but what you're about to see is truly bizarre. Some people spotted a series of numbers, yes, actual numbers, appearing in the sky, stretched out horizontally almost like they were floating. What's even stranger is that no one seems to know where these digits came from. They weren't part of any obvious display or projection, they just appeared out of nowhere. So what could this be? Could it be some kind of advanced hologram testing? Or are we witnessing a glitch in the Matrix, an anomaly in reality itself? The question is, what do you think? Is this just modern tech at work, or could something far more mysterious be happening here?
That's why they probably still doing it, just doing whatever the number is. It's a phone number.
That's not a phone number, that's hella
Nah,
number.
they gonna keep doing it because
What you're looking at is the mysterious green stone, a roughly cubic block of nephrite located in the ruins of the Great Temple at Hattusa, the ancient capital of the Hittite Empire. This stone has puzzled researchers for years, and its purpose remains unknown to this day. Some skeptics believe the green stone is nothing more than a fake, just an ordinary rock painted to look unusual. But others aren't so sure. There are some who think it could be something far more extraordinary, possibly linked to ancient alien activity or a natural wonder that defies explanation. No one knows for certain how it got there or what its true purpose is. Could this be an artifact from another world, or is it simply an enigma we have yet to understand? What do you think? Is the green stone a clever hoax, or does it hold secrets beyond our comprehension?
The white is turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis.
This footage was taken several years ago by a pilot flying over the vast, icy expanse of Antarctica. As you'd expect, the landscape is dominated by towering ice balls and frozen plains. But here's where things get really strange. Scattered among the ice are what appear to be warm water bodies. How is this possible in one of the coldest places on Earth? It raises all sorts of questions. Could these warm water bodies be connected to geothermal activity deep beneath the surface? Or could there be something even more mysterious at play, like hidden ecosystems or ancient secrets trapped under the ice? Some theories that these water bodies could point to undiscovered phenomena lurking beneath Antarctica's icy exterior. What do you think could be happening here?
The white is turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis.
For our next footage, we journey deep into the heart of Southeast Asia, where the rainforest shrouds its most enigmatic enigma yet, a creature straddling the boundary between reality and myth. This elusive primate has kindled the fires of imagination in all who have dared to glimpse its form. What you see looks like a landscape ripped from the vivid dreams of a cryptid enthusiast. A rainforest draped in a tapestry of emerald hues, every leaf hinting at ancient tales untold. In the midst of this living canvas emerges the protagonist of our narrative, a mysterious primate that embodies both puzzle and intrigue. Stature modest, standing at a mere 2 feet, yet it exudes an aura of quiet marvel that effortlessly seizes the spotlight. The initial encounter sears itself into memory. The fur, or rather the absence thereof, this enigmatic being defies the norms, its pelt seemingly untouched by nature's brushstrokes. It's almost as if its very existence was meant to remain a canvas of bare intrigue, save for the whimsical crown of fur that graces its head. Despite these magnificent words I've been able to pull together to describe this creature, one question remains. Is this real? Does this being exist? Have you had any encounters or experiences? Share them with us in the comments section. We'll be reading. Do you like spiders? If you answered no to this question, then this next post might just scare you out of your wits. This footage was taken by a man who'd gone to the woods to enjoy the scenery. He decided to film the whole process because, well, why not? What he didn't expect, however, was to see a strange tree looking gray from a distance. Intrigued, he drew nearer to find out what was keeping this odd-looking tree gray, and what he saw left him speechless. I mean, how do you explain the sight you're seeing? A tree covered in cobwebs? Surely there must be a logical explanation for it, and truly there is. I've shared it on this channel before. Who can remember it? If you do remember the explanation I gave, leave a comment and start with "I remember" in cap lock so we can give you a befitting acknowledgement. If you haven't seen the video before, this might be the best time to revisit our previous videos because we've really got a special surprise for whoever remembers this. This footage was recorded with the camera focused on the rear-view mirror of a car that was being driven on a deserted road that was sandwiched by woodland. While driving, the driver spared a glance at the monitor in the car and everything seemed normal at first, but in a few moments, something strange began to move from a distance. As the thing got closer, it started to take form. It bore an uncanny resemblance to a cryptid. 2 flailing arms came into view as the creature, now sprinting toward the car, became more discernible. This frightened the driver, who sped out of the place without turning to look back. What do you think that was? A weird person running out of the forest? A Bigfoot? Or something far more sinister? Share your thoughts with us. Have you ever been in the wrong place at the right time or taken a wrong turn that led to something unexpected and interesting? Well, the uploader of our next footage did. Have a look. During an early morning walk through the woods, a group of explorers spotted an ape-like creature standing just a few feet away, fixing its gaze intently on them. The creature, standing at a height of about 6 to 7 feet, had dark hair and was positioned near a tree, its arms wrapped around the trunk. You don't need to be a paranormal expert to recognize that this is definitely a Bigfoot. But here's the twist. This creature isn't running. Instead, it stands its ground and even gestures to the explorers as if warning them to stay back. This is the first time we've captured footage of Bigfoot behaving in such a manner. Fascinating, isn't it? Now, the big question remains, is this footage real? We'd love to hear your thoughts. In western Massachusetts, a hunter recently had an intriguing encounter that left him questioning whether he had stumbled upon a legendary creature or a simple tree branch. The creature was standing among some broken tree branches, so he was not sure if what he saw was a Bigfoot or a tree branch. It was brown, and he was about 7 feet or more, making it look like one of the branches. Faced with the potential danger of encountering an elusive and powerful creature like Bigfoot with only a bow for protection, the hunter opted for a cautious approach. Instead of confronting the unknown, he wisely decided to capture the moment through a photograph. This decision not only ensured his safety, but also provided an opportunity to scrutinize the image later for a more informed analysis. What do you think? Is that a Bigfoot or a tree branch? What do we have here? Someone videoed this strange moment during a rainstorm. The rain was pouring heavily on one side of the road, while the side the person was recording was untouched. But when you look at the skies, both have rainy clouds on them. So what do you think is happening here? It's like Mother Nature's playing a game of rain dodgeball, and this person just happened to catch the action in full swing. One side drenched, the other side not a drop in sight. It's a meteorological mystery. Have you ever gone through the woods and heard weird and strange sounds? Well, the one who captured this video lived through one, and you wouldn't believe the footage he captured. Listen attentively.
What that is? Scary.
You heard it, didn't you? Now, there's no animal we know that makes sounds like that, and it couldn't have been a small animal because if it was, the sound wouldn't have traveled that far with that much volume and depth. It's no bear, definitely not a wolf, and couldn't be any smaller like a coyote. What then could it be? Well, we can't say for sure, but if your guess is as wild as mine, then you'd probably be thinking it's a Bigfoot. Could it actually be one, though? I'll let you decide. Something large is staring back at the dog. What do you think it is? What would you do if your dog ventured into the dark, unknown alone? As night fell and this dog owner prepared to retire to bed and decided to find her dog and bring it indoors, after scouring the entire house, her quest led her to the backyard.
Nigel, what are you doing?
There, an unsettling sight awaited. She found her dog crouched and fixated on a mysterious presence shrouded in the darkness. The woman called out to her pet, only to find it immovable from its crouched stance. Driven by both curiosity and worry, she cautiously approached the scene, determined to uncover the cause of her dog's unease. Observe the scene closely. Do you notice it? Amidst the obscurity, a shadowy figure emerges, its eyes illuminated in an eerie glow. Those luminous eyes are fixed intently on the dog, yet the cloak of darkness shrouds its identity, leaving us to ponder what it could be. It doesn't appear to be either feline or canine, which leaves us to wonder what it is. Some of our team members think it might be a rat, some think it's actually a cat, whereas a few think it's all fake. Where do you stand? Here we have another footage of a dinosaur that was captured in the sky. The flying creature looks nothing like a bird. Just look at its webbed wings and long beak. And just the sheer size of it alone from that distance is enough proof that this is no ordinary bird. I'm not gonna lie, the thought of seeing creatures we see only in movies is very exciting, just like meeting your favorite actor or actress in real life. But this is not the kind of celebrity we would be pleased to take a photo with or shake hands with. And that leads us to the big question. Are we ready for this? The thought of encountering movie-worthy creatures in the flesh is exhilarating, but when those creatures are more interested in a meal than a fan club, things get a bit dicey. The ocean when afar is very beautiful until you find yourself surrounded by it. While on a voyage, a ship came face to face with a huge monster of a wave that left the crew in the ship screaming in fear for their lives. The ocean is unpredictable and on bad days can lift waves as high as mountains to swallow up ships and boats no matter how big they are. The unpredictable nature of the sea, influenced by weather patterns, currents, and other dynamic factors, informs sailors to approach the maritime environment with a profound sense of respect and caution. Chucky is no doubt a doll that terrorized any in their childhoods. I mean, watching anything with that terrifying doll in it is bound to give you nightmares for days. But what would you do if it wasn't fiction? What would you do if you had a horrific doll like Chucky in the basement of your new home? The uploader of the footage found these dolls in the basement of his new home. He doesn't believe they were left there on accident and thinks the previous owner might have intentionally left them behind. He couldn't figure out why until he saw one of the dolls move on its own. He swears it's true and says the eyes of the doll follow him anytime he's in the same space with them. I want to believe his story, but if the dolls are as horrific as he says, why is he moving and filming so close to them? Am I being too much of a skeptical Joe, or is something really going on there? Tell me what you think in the comments section. Amidst the plethora of paranormal sightings and glimpses of wildlife, today's Trailcam footage offers a remarkably different spectacle. The Trailcam was positioned on a property, its lens scanning the landscape, when it captured an unforeseen event, an explosion. Thankfully, the camera managed to freeze frame-still images of the explosive incident, revealing that it originated from the neighbor's property. The source of the explosion was traced back to the neighboring property of the cam owner. It was a meth lab concealed within the woods, and the ignition led to a subsequent explosion. Thankfully, the incident resulted in no casualties, although there were injuries. Doing drugs can be dangerous, irrespective of where you position your lab. Do yourself a favor, stay away from all drug-related vices after this video, and you'll thank us. Next, we have a video clip that reveals the remains of a dinosaur, specifically a T-Rex in the heart of the woods. The uploader had the paranormal and dinosaur enthusiasts community believing that he had indeed filmed a T-Rex. As you'd expect with such a revelation, it was met with debates as well as a lot of skepticism. But could he be telling the truth? Well, if any living dinosaurs indeed remained from the tumultuous events millennia ago, this capture might just be the evidence many needed. I mean, if you take a closer look, you'd see flesh, meaning it's a fresh kill. As the debates raged on, the uploader had an epiphany and came online to clarify all misconceptions. In fact, he revealed the footage originated from a German museum theme park. The park had fashioned a replica of a deceased T-Rex, simulating its appearance after gradual decomposition and becoming part of the earth. It was meant to be an educational tool, but the uploader saw an opportunity to get rich and famous. Unfortunately for him, he was called out and came out to apologize to the community and all who believed it. But do you think he should be let off on such an easy note? Talking of something sinister, this structure was found in the woods. Its architecture is undeniably strange. The structure consists of numerous tree branches intricately intertwined, and there's an opening that resembles a doorway leading into the structure. I'm not sure what led this individual to venture into the woods at night, but this just screams monster's lair to me, and the presence of this person feels more like an intrusion than an adventure. Looking at the structure, you can tell that this is not man-made because the broken branches around the structure look like they were snapped out of place, while humans would have used equipment to clean-cut them. If it's not human, then whatever built this must be pretty intelligent. At first, I thought it could be a hunter's blind, but there's no way human arms could snap those trees off the ground. Could this be the work of Bigfoot? Could the whole structure be a Bigfoot lair or another undiscovered and much bigger creature? You tell me. At first glance, you might think you're looking at an unruly, oversized rhizome with uniparious cyme branches and a sympodial axis. However, there's more to this than meets the eye. Yes, I know that intro was confusing, but, well, I'm trying to sound smart. Anyway, this eerie tree stands amidst the woods, presenting an appearance quite distinct from the typical trees we encounter on ordinary days. Tall and pallid, the tree exudes an air of remoteness and airiness in the footage. The surrounding ground is carpeted with pale green grass, while the eyes of a carved figure gaze out at us. Meanwhile, the neighboring trees stand devoid of leaves or branches. The peculiar carving on the tree depicts a figure in an almost elongated posture. It evokes imagery of a woman who, if alive, might be in a stretch. The head is twisted sharply to the right, hanging like a captured fugitive poised to utter their final words, perhaps as they were being turned into a tree. But is that something that's even possible? Also, how has the hair been preserved if that's true? Well, given our little experience with the paranormal, we wouldn't roll anything out, but do tell us, what do you think happened here? Did the tree somehow assume this shape, or are we dealing with a paranormal occurrence? Tell us in the comments section. Would Bigfoot hide in plain sight? Well, opinions vary on this matter. Some in the paranormal community believe he would, others don't think so. But here's footage that might give us a definitive answer. Do you see the dark area of the zoomed-in footage on your screen? Do you see it moving, or is it perfectly still? If you saw it move, then the uploader might be onto something. He believes that's a Bigfoot trying to stay perfectly still so no one realizes it's there. Personally, I don't see it. Do you? This is another footage of a YouTuber who ventured into an abandoned church to check it out. If you're regular on this channel, then you know things didn't go exactly as planned. Instead of a supernatural encounter, he stumbled on something quite disturbing. Tombs, tempered tombs. The curious YouTuber got a closer look at the tombs, and in the broken coffins were the remains of the deceased on display. This is usually the work of tomb raiders who open tombs to steal jewelry and anything of value in them. Creepy, I know. Although this is not as scary as the previous footage, it's still very creepy with all those bones lying there exposed. Don't you think so? Notice that many places considered haunted are in remote areas of town. Well, this next footage follows a similar trajectory, which might prove that there's indeed a correlation. During the early hours of the night, a man known for his curiosity stumbles upon a location not recommended for a visit, a place known as Dead Doll Lane. If the name doesn't already give it away, the vicinity is filled with numerous dolls, some hanging, others dismantled or even destroyed. A few are caught in the fences along the road. Unfazed by his findings, he continues his investigations. Myths surrounding these dolls suggested they house evil spirits or perhaps even demons. But let's ponder, are these locations truly overtaken by so-called evil spirits and demons, or could they be regular spirits clinging to the perceived homes and attaching themselves to the new occupants of the property? Whatever your answer, there are individuals who've assumed the role of blinding these spirits to dolls like those featured in the footage. A few of these bound spirits become problematic and are consequently banished to the lane you see. What do you think, though? Are there merits to these myths, or are they simply old wives' tales being passed on from one generation to the other? Share your thoughts or experiences, if any, with us. Did you enjoy playing hide and seek as a child? If your answer was yes, then I have a question for you. Would you play it with a paranormal being? What you see on your screen now is the recording by a woman who was seeing a humanoid creature occasionally appearing from behind a tree and looking at her. In this clip, the woman is freaking out, and she describes whatever is doing that to be a man. But after closer inspection by us, we realize that it's no man. Instead, it looks like some form of paranormal creature. While it's hard to discern what kind it is, my bet is on the fact that it's a rake. But what's yours? Let's dive into this fascinating cam footage that captured an intriguing encounter between two entirely different creatures. The identity of the first creature remains a mystery, but the little black bundle of joy following behind is none other than a bear, seemingly shadowing the larger creature's path. Upon closer examination, intriguing details emerge. The drooping fur on its body leads me to speculate that this animal is a domestic yak, known by various names such as Tartary ox, hairy cattle, or the grunting ox. At first glance, domestic yaks can be identified by distinct physical features, including dense, long hair, fur that hangs below their bellies, a bulky frame, sturdy legs, a plump appearance, and cloven hooves. While it might seem unusual to witness such a scenario where a bear follows a domestic yak, rest assured this footage poses no cause for alarm. Domestic yaks are known for their friendly nature and ease of training, making them renowned companion animals. Consequently, they pose no threat to the little black bear seen in the footage. But why would a bear be following a yak around? They're not exactly known to be friendly towards each other. This makes some speculate that the creature might in fact be no yak at all, but possibly a cryptid with a lot of fur. What do you think? We've heard a lot about Bigfoot and seen a number of bits of footage of them, and even some suspected vocalizations from them. However, this video makes me question a lot of things.
Are you Daryl from Progressive?
This man came across what he believed to be a Bigfoot in the woods. He started filming the creature, and the creature moved behind the trees. He proceeded to ask it a question, and the creature made a squeaky sound in response to what he said.
Are you Daryl from Progressive?
This sounds nothing like the Bigfoot vocalizations we hear, and if this is true, does it mean the elusive creature can't communicate? Ever heard of the conspiracies behind the fake sun and moon? Initially, I didn't really pay much attention until this footage came along. A woman was in a park during nightfall when she noticed this: two suns setting. One sun takes on a vibrant orange hue while the other radiates a bright yellow light. This unexpected and perplexing sight has sparked curiosity and raised questions about what might be happening in the sky. The presence of two suns is not known in our part of the world. Our solar system has only one sun, so this is already a problem. We don't know what's going on or how this is possible. It's the dead of night, and a lone traveler embarks on a winding road. The dark expanse of woods looms on either side, a silent sentinel to the mysteries that lie within. And then, out of the shadows, an uncanny sight unfolds before his very eyes. As he navigates the road, a surreal tableau comes into view, a congregation of figures unmistakably human yet profoundly peculiar. Clad in matching obsidian suits, they sported identical black hats, bags, and even umbrellas, an ensemble that wouldn't be out of place in a Charlie Chaplin movie. But the twists lay in the details, each one boasting a mustache, a fine eccentric touch that solidified the scene's eerie allure. They moved, if you could call it that, with an oddity that defied convention, their gazes fixed in an unsettling blankness. As the bewildered traveler passed by, The bizarre presence hung in the air like a riddle without a solution. And then, as if scripted by a surrealist's hand, an explosion of pink erupted from the depths of the woods, the very direction from whence these enigmatic figures had emerged. So let's entertain the possibilities, shall we? Could this be a whimsical masquerade, a bizarre costume party that defies reason, or perhaps a darker undercurrent pulses beneath the surface? A clandestine cult, a secret society marching to their own enigmatic rhythm. Tell us what you think. Behold a multitude of ethereal white specters gracefully traversing the landscape. The true identity of these entities remains shrouded in mystery. Their ghostly movements, resembling gliding phantasms, all converge towards a common direction. While skeptics attribute this phenomenon to camera trickery, a closer examination dispels this notion. Observe their ethereal motion as they glide effortlessly behind trees and through gates. These movements defy mere camera manipulation. There have also been various sightings of these entities all over Chile. Could Chile possibly harbor a mysterious portal granting passage to other beings? Are they spectral entities from another realm, or does your belief align with the notion of a mere camera illusion? Tell us in the comments section. Ever had one of those moments where you knew that your life was on the line? Well, here we have footage recorded from the GoPro camera on a biker's helmet. While riding on a path in the woods, he was spotted by a grizzly bear. I'm guessing the bear was curious about the biker, or it was really hungry because it gave the biker a hot chase, not even backing down for a second. Don't underestimate bears because of their size. They are very good runners. The bear chased the biker, still not giving up. Unfortunately, the biker came to a path that was blocked by a tree branch, and judging by the speed of the bear, it could catch up to him. So he got off the bike and ran as fast as he could. We don't know what happened after that, but it seems the biker got out of there safely. Here we have another footage of dinosaurs that was taken on a farmland. In the footage, we can see a little girl running around with what looks like tiny dinosaurs. The footage, when inspected, has no signs of editing or CGI, meaning that it's legit. I don't know how to feel about the dinosaurs living among us. We all know what happened in Jurassic World. Though it was a movie, how things played out will not be any different if dinosaurs are indeed amongst us. Do we even have the technology to protect ourselves from them? So here we are, caught between awe and a healthy dose of caution. What's your take on this mini dino spectacle? Are we witnessing the dawn of a dino era, or is this just a quirky moment in the annals of farmland adventures? If you thought obesity was a human problem, then it's only because you haven't seen our final footage. Have a look. Now that's a big guy right there. He's living his best life, perched regally under the shade of a tree, indulging in a feast of succulent fruits like a true gourmet connoisseur. It's like a tropical paradise vacation for this primate. And let's talk size, shall we? This monkey isn't just playing around with a snack-sized meal. Nope, he's embracing the buffet with gusto, proving that he's a true fruitarian at heart. With every bite, you can almost hear him say, "Ah, yes, my dear Watson, this mango has just the right balance of sweetness and tanginess." It's a snapshot of pure delight, a scene that's as charming as a Disney movie comes to life. You can almost picture this monkey reclining on a hammock, wearing a pair of sunglasses and sipping a fruit mocktail. Living the dream doesn't even begin to cover it. In this next footage, we have a man who claims to own the body parts of a Bigfoot his father shot and killed years ago. According to him, the creature was so massive that they had no suitable space to preserve the entire body intact, so they resorted to cutting it into pieces for preservation. Here we can see him displaying the severed arm of the said Bigfoot. The arm, covered in brown fur, looks incredibly realistic. The palm looks human, but has this animalistic look to it, and it's very big. It's distinctly different from chimps, monkeys, or gorillas. Do you believe it is indeed the arm of a Bigfoot, or do you think it's simply a prop? We'd love to hear your take and thoughts. What do we have here? Behold, a hand fidgeting with a trail cam. You've heard curiosity killed the cat, but this hand's owner seems unfazed. As darkness cloaks the day and masks the identity, this hand doesn't exude fear. If anything, it screams for a manicure. Gnarled and unclipped nails, maybe even a stray hair or two. I mean, it looks like the hand of an unkempt hunter aiming for the headlines by activating the trail cam's infrared light. If that's not the scenario you had in mind, then I suspect Bigfoot took the spot, and I can't blame you. Considering the nails and gnarls, it makes sense after all, but this just screams fake. I'm sorry, a part of me wanted to believe it could be, but clearly it's not. It just seems too out of character for the big guy, but what do you think? Could it really be a Bigfoot looking for a potential hand model, or is this just a bad attempt to go viral with Bigfoot footage? Share your thoughts in the comments section, as we'd love to read it. Behold a creature that has stirred both wonder and skepticism, the Alula whale. A cryptid sea dweller whose existence remains unverified. It was first reported in the 1970s by a Dutch captain, Willem Moritz. He described the creature as being similar to an orca, except for the color of its body, which was brown with the wide star-shaped scars on its back. The Alula whale was also bigger than an orca, and its dorsal fin was about 2 feet high. Scientists think that Captain Willem might have mistaken the orca for the Alula whale because, apart from the account of the captain, no one else has seen this creature until this footage surfaced. Now, as we cast our gaze upon this newfound footage, a compelling question arises. Is this the elusive Alula whale, its true nature unveiled at last, or could it yet be another case of mistaken identity echoing Captain Willem's historical encounter? Tell us what you think in the comments section. Next, we have a video clip that offers a glimpse into the diverse array of fishes from the ocean. Yet, what truly captures our attention is the unexpected appearance of what looks like, dare I say it, a female mermaid. Interestingly, the fish don't swim as closely to her as they do when Ariel passes by. Could her appearance be conveying an expression that deters these little fish, or do they simply show no interest in befriending one of the sea's potential princesses? While it might be dismissed as a hoax or an individual identifying as a mermaid, the presence of a fully developed female mermaid, recognizable by her long hair, suggests that she's faithfully going about her daily routine in the habitat she's known her entire life. As much as I'd love to believe this is real, given our childhood love for Ariel the mermaid, I must admit it's looking suspicious. Don't get me wrong, it looks beautiful, but it gives off a vibe more akin to an animated creation than something genuinely shot in the ocean. Of course, that's just my impression. What are your thoughts? Now let's move to the sea. With about 5% of the sea explored, we aren't certain of all the creatures, both big and small, that live in it. But why does that matter? For an answer, watch this footage. There in the middle of the ocean, a horned creature emerges from the depth. The creature resembles a dragon, and you can't help but wonder how that's even possible. You see it too, right? A supposed creature of the sea no one has seen. As expected, we did a thorough scrutiny of the footage and realized that the thing was not real in any way. It's just some good CGI. When I first saw the footage, it got me thinking that humanity was doomed. But thank God there's no cause for alarm and it's not real. Or is it? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Moving away from Bigfoot, yet remaining in the strange and mysterious, let's take a look at this strange footage from a trail cam situated in the heart of the forest. In the footage, you can see the stillness of the night being disturbed by a blurry image moving from a distance toward the camera. As the movement gets closer, you realize that it's some kind of pale head shrouded in a dark cloth. The figure appears to be tightly wrapped in dark cloth, which brings to mind a mummy. What or who could this be? Could it be a peculiar person engaged in a ritual, or perhaps an elusive entity wandering the forest? It's hard to say. There's also the possibility of it simply being an elaborate hoax. Which of these possibilities are you more inclined to lean towards? Tell us in the comments section. This next one is from America. A woman turns her gaze skyward to capture the dance of a peculiar light. What unfolds is a sight that leaves one intrigued, a light resembling fire gracefully traversing the heavens. Yet as the primary light fades into obscurity, a smaller companion emerges, continuing the celestial spectacle. Now the question lingers. Was this an encounter with an otherworldly UFO, or perhaps a captivating play of holographic imagery in the night sky? Now this is strange. On a chicken farm, one of the workers spotted this strange-looking chicken. It had the body of a chicken, but its head looked like a dog with ears and all. How is this even possible? Now, I'm not an expert in genetics, but as far as I know, chickens and dogs weren't exactly swapping body parts for fun. Are we witnessing some kind of secret hybrid experiment gone wrong, or is this just Mother Nature having a quirky day? I'm genuinely curious. Would you be more intrigued or terrified to come across a chicken with a dog's head on your farm? A dinosaur is already back from extinction. A man came across a building that was shaking vigorously. As he zoomed in on what was happening, he noticed something quite disturbing. From the roof of the building emerged the strange head of a creature that did not resemble anything like the regular animals that we know. The creature was very tall because it was towering over the houses, and it seemed hidden behind a tree. However, you could still see its head. It was oddly shaped like one of those dinosaurs we see in the movies. The man is very convinced that it is indeed a dinosaur. Well, we don't have much info on the footage, but if it is as he says, then humans have got a lot coming for them. Personally, though, I doubt that's a T-Rex. It would have been much bigger. But who knows? Imagine going for a walk at night when you come across this creature. A wolf-like creature walking on 2 feet. This is what is known as the Dogman. The stories surrounding the Dogman are like whispers in the night, tales of encounters that send shivers down the spine. Some say it's a guardian of the woods, while others paint it as a creature of the unknown, a spectral presence that chooses the night for its walks. This image leaves a lot to debate about. Could this be another of the many Dogman sightings, or is this just an edited picture? A resident in Virginia stumbled upon something quite unexpected, an Egyptian railway train. Yeah, you heard that right.
This is an Egyptian railways train.
Now, I'm no geography expert, but last time I checked, Virginia and Egypt weren't exactly next-door neighbors. So how in the world did an Egyptian train make its way to Virginia? Did it take a wrong turn and hop on a magical track to end up halfway across the globe? One plausible explanation could be that the train in question is a replica or a theme-based attraction rather than the actual operational Egyptian railway train. Another possibility is that the train components were transported to the United States for exhibition or display. But these are just speculations since no context was given to the situation. But what do you think could be going on here?
Really long. It goes on and on and on here at Norfolk Southern Railways.
This next one's an unusual one, but do enjoy it. Yup, that's a person with their mouth wide open. I'm talking wider than your regular human jaw stretch. Now the big question, how on earth is this happening? Some might throw around the idea of shape-shifting reptilian people, you know, the conspiracy theory stuff. Maybe this person isn't fully human, so stretching the mouth like that is a walk in the park for them. Or hey, could it be some super stretchy mouth skin they were born with? The possibilities are out there, but here's the thing. Well, who knows, right? Dogman and werewolves are two mythical creatures, both canine and as elusive as the Bigfoot. In this Trailcam image, we can see what looks like a canine on its 2 feet walking in the forest. The unique characteristics of the creature have fueled speculation among Facebook users, with contrasting opinions on its identity. Some assert that it resembles a dog, specifically a pit bull, pointing to its bony shoulders and skinny arms as potential canine features. Others, however, veer into the realm of the supernatural, suggesting that this enigmatic being could be a skinwalker, a creature from Native American folklore capable of transforming into various animal forms. And here we are, caught in the middle of this debate. On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now before I send that creature after you. On a more serious note, it really helps us out a ton and gives us the opportunity to keep making these videos for you. So please do so and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you very much. Nature, with its breathtaking beauty and inherent mysteries, often presents us with awe-inspiring spectacles that challenge our understanding of the world. This fascinating piece of footage captured on a boat in the Durban Sea, South Africa, has added another layer to the mystery of nature. This video showcases a mesmerizing sight where the sea seems to be divided into 2 distinct sections. The waters, for reasons not immediately apparent, refuse to mix, creating a visual spectacle that has left onlookers in a state of wonder and amazement. As you sail through this mesmerizing spectacle, the question hangs in the air like mist on the sea. What in the world could be the explanation for this? Instead of giving you the answer right away, let's treat this like trivia. Does anyone know the answer? Check out this rather peculiar scene. Yes, those are turtles and someone's diligently digging them out. Now you might be wondering what's the story behind this unusual turtle excavation. Turns out some turtle species are known to hibernate. The narrative is these guys are trying to ensure their well-being during this slumberous state. According to them, it's like tucking them into a cozy bed in the earth, providing a safe and insulated space for their hibernation. Well, personally, I don't buy it. It looks like someone's gathering resources for dinner. Now, the next question is, why do they hibernate? In the wild, some species of turtles hibernate during the colder months to conserve energy when food is scarce. They may bury themselves in soil, mud, or leaf litter to protect themselves from extreme temperatures. Nature's ways can be a fascinating sight, don't you think? Whoa, check out this guy. He's doing some seriously bizarre stuff with his body. First off, he's pulling at the skin on his forehead and it's like taffy just stretching away. That's a bit odd, right? But hold on, it gets weirder. He goes on to shift his Adam's apple. I mean, who does that? That's not your everyday talent. Then he's stretching his arms in ways that seem way too flexible, and then to top it off, he bends his finger backwards to touch the back of his hand. Now, that's not how fingers are supposed to bend. Now here's the mystery. Is this some kind of medical condition, or could he be one of those rumored hybrid humans? It's kind of disturbing messing with the norms of human anatomy like that. What's going on with this guy's body? Speaking of Bigfoot, a 12-year-old boy saw a Yeti on a camping trip in the Kemerovo Mountains in Siberia. The Kemerovo Mountains in Siberia are renowned as a hotspot for Yeti sightings. The young boy said he was taking a morning walk with some of the kids when he spotted the magnificent creature with brown fur and brown eyes like a human. Following the boy's sighting, the campers stumbled upon tracks left by the mysterious creature near the campsite. Strangely, no one heard anything unusual during the time the creature was presumed to have passed by. The tracks of the creature were double the size of an adult human's, pointing to the fact that the boy's account was true. He really saw a Bigfoot. Such a lucky kid. Next, we have a rather bizarre capture from a Trailcam, if I do say so myself. Have a look. The captured footage unveils a landscape teeming with lush trees and verdant grass enveloping the expansive terrain. In the capture, we see what looks like a shadowy figure moving through the environment. Its form and shape change as it moves, almost as though it's trying to materialize from another plane. Is that even a logical thing to say? Well, if you asked me some months ago before the start of this channel, I would have said yes, but looking at all the things we have encountered up to date, I guess not. Only one question remains, however. Is it authentic? Now, that's a question that's hard to answer. A part of me thinks this could be real, but then again, another part of me knows AI is capable of producing images as photorealistic as this. So I ask you, what do you think is happening in this Trailcam capture? The everyday chore of bathroom scrubbing. God, my mom knows how much I hate that. Anyway, instead of the usual everyday routine, this one unveils something rather perplexing. While diligently scrubbing away, the individual whom we will call Scrubby noticed a strange phenomenon unfolding with the foam on the ground. Instead of the usual randomness, the foam arranged itself into circles, forming a captivating spiral. I kid you not. Oh, wait, well, you can see it too, can't you? Now the plot thickens. The person ceased scrubbing, and there appears to be no external force at play. How on earth is this peculiar spiral of foam materializing on its own? It's a head-scratcher indeed. What's your take on this bathroom mystery? A playful trick of foam physics, or perhaps a sign of something more mystical? Take a look at this. Looks strange, doesn't it? It's like a mix between the Hulk and the Devil. His strange-looking green face, however, is nothing more than a praying mantis. The praying mantis, with its unique and captivating appearance, truly stands out in the realms of insects. One of its intriguing behaviors involves the use of its forewings to create a startling display. When faced with threats, a mantis may theatrically open its wings, revealing eye-like patterns on the undersides. A remarkable tactic to intimidate potential predators. Not only does the mantis employ this defense mechanism, but the males also showcase their wings to communicate with potential mates. These visual signals play a crucial role in attracting female mantises during the intricate dance of courtship. Would you want one of these as a pet? Is it even safe? Share your thoughts. The mystique of Bigfoot continues. In the world of cryptids and enigmatic creatures, Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, holds a special place, and this image adds another layer to the enduring mystery. The footage opens us up to a forest where we've got some dense bushes, and there, right in the midst of it all, is a figure with brown fur with its back turned to the camera. Now the speculation begins. Some adventurous souls suggest that what we are seeing here is none other than the elusive Sasquatch crouched down on the ground. After all, these creatures are known for their significant size. But wait, there's a twist in the tale. This particular one is much smaller compared to what our expectation of a Sasquatch is. Some members of the paranormal community have suggested that the footage might not be a Bigfoot at all. Instead, they've suggested it might be a rare capture of the monkey people, an entirely different species of cryptid. Are you familiar with these species, or do we need to do a special episode on them? Tell us if you'd want that in the comments section. We'd be reading. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe buttons yet, this would be a good time to do so. We've got so much content in store for you, and we wouldn't want you to miss any. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Now, back to today's episode. It's unknown where exactly this was captured, but let's stick to the obvious. Amidst a densely remote forest, which appears like an area rarely frequented by people, with tall, bare trees standing without leaves. In this very area, though, stands a figure, defying the known essence of these woods. A woman of uncertain age, hair deeply parted to the left, much like my vantage point. She dons a blue top under a lengthy coral pink jacket adorned with black stripe-like patterns. By all standards, this image should be fine. But no, it's rather unsettling. She stands in a weird posture, wearing a face and look that can only be described as sinister. A video clip would have presented it with greater clarity. Her face, ghostly pale, resembles a mask akin to Pennywise from the film It. As if she's possessed by a malevolent spirit. But why? She looks like an innocent young girl with a future much brighter than the contrast in that photo. Or is that what the spirit in her wants me to think? Well, I don't know anymore. It might as well be a hoax, meaning I'm simply thinking too much of it. But what do you think?
His name is my first watch. Is name Asteroid. Because it's from.
This watchmaker in Argentina is doing something pretty cool. Imagine a watch that doesn't look like your typical shiny thing, but more like a rock. And get this, it's not just any rock. It's made from an asteroid that literally fell from the sky and landed in Argentina. While some folks are all about showing off their diamonds and fancy watches, this watch takes the cake. We're talking about a watch with a piece of outer space on your wrist. It's not just a timepiece, it's like wearing a chunk of the universe while keeping tabs on the time. So what do you think? Would you ever consider rocking this rock on your wrist? Someone found this massive snake coiled up in the tree while walking through the woods. I'm talking colossal, legendary serpent vibes. Now, when it comes to big snakes, think pythons or anacondas, the real giants of the snake world. These creatures are known for their impressive size and tree-climbing skills, often hanging out in tropical or subtropical regions, particularly in lush forests. But let's be real, encountering a snake of this magnitude is not your average stroll in the park. But if you ever do, safety first. Keep a good distance because large snakes, even though fascinating, can potentially be on the dangerous side. This one looks like it could practically swallow a whole person in one go. So the next time you're wandering through the woods, keep your eyes peeled for more than just birds and squirrels, and you might just save your life or make an amazing discovery. While at the beach, this person noticed something unusual about the wave pattern on the sea. Instead of the horizontal, he saw square waves on the sea, which is quite unusual. This is uncommon and occurs when two ocean swells collide at right angles, creating powerful rip currents and unpredictable waves. The collision can result in strong rip tides, making it dangerous for anyone around at the time. So here's the deal. If you ever spot square waves, it's not the time to channel your inner daredevil. These cross-sea collisions can create riptides that are not to be messed with. It's nature's way of saying, hey, maybe find a safer spot to enjoy the view. While driving by the woods, this person comes across a creature walking among the trees in the woods. A mysterious creature strolled among the trees. And get this, it's not your everyday woodland critter. Nope, it's walking on two legs like a full-on bipedal situation. Now the trees are doing a little dance playing peekaboo with our creature friend, but there's no mistaking it. We might just be witnessing a real-life Bigfoot here, folks. I mean, unless someone's decided to throw on a furry costume and take a leisurely stroll in the woods for reasons that escape us. But come on, with all these howls and growls in the background, we're leaning toward the Bigfoot theory. What do you think? Our next footage was taken by a Ring doorbell camera. From the footage, you can clearly tell that it's nighttime, and the rain seems to be pouring pretty heavily. A closer look and you'll realize that there's something strange about this. There in the sky is this ball of light. It doesn't look like your regular star, and it's definitely too high to be your normal street light. Simply put, it doesn't look like any of the celestial bodies we're used to. Instead, it just hovers there mysteriously, blinking in a pattern like a guiding light in the dark. What are we looking at here? Could it be some far-off space object trying to send a subtle message on this rainy night, or maybe it's a rare weather event causing optical illusions, making it seem like something it's not to the person watching? Extreme body modifications, such as tattooing the entire body or undergoing procedures to resemble animals, are indeed a form of self-expression that can be perceived as unconventional and even shocking. In this case, we have a person with his back inked like a snake. I mean, talk about commitment to the extreme. It's like they decided regular tattoos weren't cutting it, so why not turn the entire back into a slithering serpent canvas? Freaky doesn't even begin to describe it. But hey, each to their own, right? Beauty and body modifications come in all sorts of flavors. Some might find it intriguing, while others might find it a tad too freaky. Ever experienced a real-life Matrix glitch? Well, here's a bizarre one for you. A man walks into his kitchen only to find a drop of water suspended in mid-air beneath the faucet. Now, before you dismiss it as clever editing, hold on. The man decides to put the glitch to the test. He swipes his finger through the suspended water, and lo and behold, it falls on his finger like a perfectly ordinary drop. These surreal situations fuel the belief in a cosmic simulation. Are we merely players in a grand virtual reality, or is this just a cosmic hiccup on this reality-defying phenomenon? While checking out an abandoned building, an adventurer was interrupted by a strange creature that creeped out of the open window. There, crawling into the building, is a pale humanoid creature with huge dark eyes. Its body was slender, and its hands had claws. Our adventurer, being the sensible human they are, doesn't stick around for a meet and greet. Nope, they hightail it out of there faster than you can say, "Spooky surprise." Can't blame them, really. Now let's dive into this creature. It's like a weird mix of mysterious and maybe a touch of creepy. It's like the long-lost cousin of the rake. Before you watch the next clip, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already? It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos like this for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode. In the wilds of British Columbia, a man finds himself face to face with a creature that's known to exist only in legends. In the captured footage, the creature peers cautiously from behind the trees, revealing a dark face adorned with black fur. Looking at the footage, I guess we all know who the big guy is. Yes, you thought right, the legendary Sasquatch. Sasquatch lore is characterized by tales of large, hairy, ape-like beings that are said to inhabit remote wilderness areas. While there have been numerous reported sightings and anecdotal evidence, the existence of Sasquatch remains a mystery. You'd think with all our advanced tech we'd have found them by now. Once the footage popped up online, though, many believed we may be dealing with an ape instead. What do you think? While walking through the wilderness, a man hears these strange purrs coming from a cave. As curiosity beckons, the intrepid explorer gets closer and spots a creature with glowing eyes peering from an opening in the cave. Now, there seems to be no visible entrance to the cave, so how did the creature find its way in? And more importantly, what kind of creature are we dealing with here? Some suggest it might be a mountain lion, a known inhabitant of caves in remote areas. I mean, these creatures are known for their elusive behavior, and their reflective eyes in low-light conditions could create the appearance of glowing eyes like we see in the footage. There are others, however, who entertain the idea that something far more sinister might be afoot, perhaps a mystical creature hiding in the cave. Having seen it, what do you think? Many vast lands have gone to waste and don't seem to be wanted for keeps either, and the one in the next footage is no exception. The video showcases extensive plots of land marked with soil uplifts and incomplete grazing activities. Among the trees stands a figure dressed in stark white attire, so blindingly white that it's impossible to overlook. It remains stationary, its towering height standing out. Beyond its stature, little can be discerned about its other physical attributes. There's a belief that it might be connected to the numerous murder cases documented in the area. Some even suggest it's the spirit of one of the victims killed in the area. Looking at it, however, I believe there's more to the story than we're being let in on. Instead of a lost spirit, I'd want us to consider another possibility. It's a witch. If that's a far stretch, then possibly a member of a secret cult operating in the area. Before you dismiss it, take a good look at the figure in the footage. Do you not see that there's something ominous with it? Well, looks like the webbed tree is not the only shocker for the day. Check out this footage. This footage was captured by a crew of loggers who were cutting down some oaks in the Alabama woodlands. They had done this so many times that it had almost become second nature to them. They always knew what to expect and how to navigate them. But what you see on your screen is not something they anticipated. If you're wondering what you're seeing, allow me to put you out of that stress. The creature you see on your screen is nothing more than a mummified dog. There's no telling how it ended up there, but we can make some intelligent guesses. The poor canine probably wandered into the woods chasing a rabbit and got stuck in the tree trunk. It couldn't wiggle itself out of the tree and ended up starving to death. No matter how you look at it, that's a horrible way to go, but instead of decaying, the tree preserved its body. This discovery got the world talking, and the mummified dog was put in a museum and named Stucky. Fascinating, isn't it? Now, which one of you knows which museum the dog was placed in? Tell us in the comments section. Next, we have a mysterious encounter in the lush landscapes of Indonesia. These strange people were covered in a black substance with animal fur adorning their heads and cascading down their backs. Adding an eerie touch, these enigmatic beings are known for emitting strange, haunting screams into the air. But who or what could they be? And to the paranormal speculators, some think they might be mischievous children dressed up and engaging in elaborate pranks on unsuspecting residents. I mean, when you think about it, it's something children would do. On the flip side, a more mystical interpretation takes root. Some members of the paranormal community suggest that these peculiar beings are forest guardians wandering through the woodlands. To be fair, in folklore and local legends, tales of guardians or spirits inhabiting nature's spaces are not uncommon. The black substance and fur might symbolize a connection to the earth and the creatures within it. But perhaps this is just Aaron's paranormal ideologies rubbing off on me. What's your take on this mysterious scenario? A case of mischievous youngsters, or perhaps encounters with mystical guardians of the forest? Kindly let us know what you think in the comments section. Take a look at this disturbing footage taken on a train. Here, you can hear this loud sound coming from the train with accompanying sparks. They appear to be coming from the train. But in a few seconds, a loud sound is heard as the other side of the train sparks fire, startling everyone. Now, what's causing this chaos? One theory is that the train might be going through a tunnel that's a tad too small for its liking, scraping against the walls and creating those sparks. Another possibility is that the train itself might be having a bad day. Some technical hiccups. At the start of the clip, notice how the guys sitting down seem unfazed by the noise, and others on the opposite side are also keeping their cool until there's a loud sound and bright light flash from outside the train. It's almost as if they're used to this situation, meaning the second theory might be correct. What do you think? This footage was taken in Michigan this year and had been kept under wraps until the recent events in the USA, if you know what I mean. A man was taking a stroll when, out of nowhere, he noticed a flying disc in the sky. Looking at the discs, I guess we all have an idea what that might be. A UFO. Members of the paranormal scrutinized the crafts and were convinced that there was no way this was CGI. Frankly, there's not much to go on about. It's hard to confirm or disprove the fact. Some are convinced that the sightings have only increased since the confirmation by the US government because the aliens know they've been found out and are no longer interested in hiding. Frankly speaking, I find that hard to believe, but what do you think of the whole thing? Do you believe the sightings are real, or are people simply taking advantage to go viral? Share your thoughts. In the blackness of the night engulfing the remote forest, did you see that creature suddenly appear and then disappear as it appeared? What does the scene bring to mind? Some who saw the footage believed it was Bigfoot, but a second group believed it was nothing more than a witch. The darkness makes it hard to discern what exactly we're looking at. But is it just me, or does it appear to be wearing a cloak more than it does appear to be having fur? Perhaps it's my eyes, or simply put, my active imagination at work. But I believe the uploader may have wrongly identified the cryptid he encountered. What do you think? Now, what do we have here? This sushi appears to be having a mind of its own. The filleted fish is moving on its own. Someone I know saw this and shouted, "Possessed!" The only thing that possesses, however, is beauty. That's if you can at least get past the whole unlived fish thing. So, is this fish possessed? Well, no. In many cases, this occurrence can be attributed to a phenomenon known as post-mortem twitching or nerve firing. Even after a fish is filleted, gutted, and prepared for consumption, there can be residual nerve activity that causes muscles to twitch or spasm. This doesn't necessarily indicate that the fish was alive at the time of serving. It's a natural response resulting from the remaining electrical activity in the fish's nerve cells. Well, that's what Julius said anyway, and, well, I guess I gotta believe him. You might want to buckle up for this one. Imagine you're chilling in your backyard, and out of nowhere, something falls from the sky. You go check it out, and voila, it's this device with solar panels on it, and to top it off, it's got the words "Space Selfie" written on it. Now, that's not your everyday backyard discovery. Curiosity kicks in, right? So after a bit of research, it turns out that this thing is called a Samsung Space Selfie. And get this, it happened back in 2019. Yeah, a whole space selfie dropped into someone's backyard. How wild is that? The Samsung Space Selfie involved sending a device with solar panels into the stratosphere to capture a space selfie. The concept was a marketing stunt to promote the Samsung Galaxy S10 5G smartphone. This device, equipped with cameras, took pictures against the backdrop of the Earth and space. During the event, Samsung launched the device into the stratosphere using a high-altitude balloon. People could submit their selfies, and the selected images were then displayed on the device's screen as it floated in the stratosphere. Participants received a link to a video showing their selfies with the curvature of the Earth in the background. Seems the people who found this device had no clue and were pretty shocked. I would do it if it was me. Check this out, another potential glitch in the Matrix. This girl's hair was stuck mid-air close to a wall with nothing holding onto it. After a while, she pulls her hair and it goes back to normal. But this, it could be a glitch in the Matrix. It could also be that a strand of her hair was clinging to the wall, but the strand is so tiny it looks invisible. Now that I say that out loud, it doesn't sound possible or smart. It definitely has to be CGI. This could offer a rational explanation, creating the illusion of an otherworldly event. However, in a world where unusual phenomena challenges our understanding of the ordinary, it's not out of the realm of possibility that we're witnessing a glitch in the Matrix. What do you think? Is it CGI, tiny hairs, or a sign that things in our world are a bit wackier than we think? Turtles are very reserved creatures. When I see them, I feel like they're missing out on life because of how slow they are. But this footage I came across put my mind in a new perspective. There, a unique footage taken of a sea turtle jumping out of the sea and going back in. I thought these guys were slow. Just look at how it pulls a few acrobatic skills before diving back into the water. That was amazing. I bet a dolphin could never pull that. So next time you see a turtle moseying along, just remember, beneath that seemingly laid-back exterior might be a sea ninja turtle. Ah, the mysteries beneath the surface. Now look at this curious sight. Something stirring underground, causing the concrete ground to yield and create a noticeable hole. A peculiar phenomenon indeed. As the ground shifts and the concrete is pushed up and out, one might find themselves pondering. Do these movements resemble arms, gently but assertively pushing against the constraints of the concrete? You know what? Perhaps I should take your opinions. What are your thoughts on this underground enigma, a natural occurrence or perhaps a playful illusion sparked by the dance of subterranean forces? Share your thoughts.
There you go. It's a clear hit.
If you haven't already hit that like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to the day's episode. An Indian Army personnel was patrolling with his dog in the mountains when he came across a yogi. A yogi was half naked and was holding a stick in his hand. Despite the freezing cold with snow everywhere, it was pretty shocking to see this half-naked man in such conditions, and he appeared unfazed by the cold. When he reached the edge of the mountain, he started to roll downwards in the snow in a descent. I'm tempted to laugh, but I won't. Is there an Indian who could explain what's going on to us? I'd greatly appreciate it. Castles are historic places that hold a lot of history and stories over the years. Some are just tales, while some are real and even proven. We have footage that was taken on a foggy night at a castle in Scotland. Take a look. There in the fog from a distance is a castle, and slightly above it is a flying creature. The creature looks too big to be the usual bird, and when you take a close look, its wings resemble bat wings. Now you are getting the picture. This creature reminds me of a dragon. These creatures are just characters of folklore, so how is this thing here? My assistant Steve thinks it's a witch, and here I am wondering why he would even think that in the first place. Either way, this could just be edited footage to prank us all. What do you guys think? This has got to be one of the best bits of footage I've ever seen of a Bigfoot. The footage introduces us to a large being or creature moving through the woods. It stands at an impressive height of 7 to 8 feet tall. It makes you wonder what this creature could be. I mean, if you were to see it in real life, you'd be scared and wondering, which is exactly what happened to the one recording the footage. Once it made its way online, however, the paranormal community decided that the figure in the video had to be a Bigfoot, ruling out the possibility of it being a bear or ape. I mean, given its height and mass, it couldn't have been any of those creatures anyway. The allure of Bigfoot sightings has been a part of folklore and cryptozoology for decades, with enthusiasts and researchers eagerly seeking evidence of these mysterious beings. The quality of this particular footage adds to the intrigue as it provides a clear and detailed glimpse of the purported Bigfoot in its natural habitat. These creatures have taken over our woodlands, and we should not be surprised if soon we see them at our doorsteps. In the boundless sky above, a pilot aboard an aircraft becomes witness to a mesmerizing display of atmospheric phenomena. As the craft floats above the clouds, the pilot notices a peculiar light show unfolding beneath. Lightning-like flashes illuminate the clouds, and a mysterious beam of light pierces through from below. I know what you're thinking, alien beam, but believe it or not, this rare and captivating spectacle is known as sprites or blue jets. It's a phenomenon where electrical discharges travel from the ground to the sky, usually during thunderstorms. Unlike the more commonly observed downward lighting, which originates in clouds and strikes the ground, upward lighting starts at the surface, typically above large thunderstorms traveling upwards. These phenomena were only discovered and confirmed relatively recently, and their elusive nature makes them difficult to observe. Pilots flying above thunderstorms or satellites positioned above the Earth's atmosphere are most likely to observe and capture such rare moments. At least, that's what Julius said. What do you think?
¿Esto es real o esto es puesto ahí?
Esto es real.
Es real.
Es natural.
Podemos mirar.
Sí, claro.
Now feast your eyes on this man sporting what appears to be silver hair, or dare we say it, fur cascading from his shoulders down his back. Believe it or not, this is natural. In the realm of unique conditions, this falls under the purview of hypertrichosis, often colloquially referred to as werewolf syndrome. Hypertrichosis involves excessive hair growth in areas where terminal hair doesn't typically make an appearance. It comes in both congenital, present at birth, and acquired forms. Nature's quirks can take on various forms, and this silver-haired individual is living proof. Do tell me, werewolf enthusiasts, is this a condition you wish you had?
Ah, mira todo esto, güey. Oiga, se siente, no lo voy a negar que se siente, ¿verdad? Como...
A trail camera set in the forest at UP, Michigan, captured a strange creature that has left quite a debate on Facebook. In the image, we can see a creature, but the creature looks hazy, indicating that the creature was moving when the photo was taken. But the creature itself, oh boy, it's not your everyday forest dweller. Take a look at its bony shoulders and skinny arms. It appears to have glowing eyes as well. Some Facebook users say this is a dog, a pit bull, but others think this could be a skinwalker. Unfortunately, there's not much to work with. It's a blurry snapshot, and the more you squint, the more questions pop up. So the Facebook jury is still out on this one. Dog, mysterious creature, or maybe the elusive skinwalker. Who knows? In Minnesota, a creature has been spotted roaming the woods. The sighting of a mysterious creature in Minnesota has sparked intrigue and speculation as eyewitnesses describe a juvenile creature with similarities to Bigfoot but with distinctive features that set it apart. This being stands at a height of approximately 3 to 4 feet, presenting a unique combination of characteristics that raises questions about its identity and potential classification as a new species. The creature's dark eyes and unusually large mouth differentiated from the typical features associated with Bigfoot sightings. The fur on its head sticks out in various directions like it's had a bad hair day. What do you think this is? Next, we have a trail cam that captured something quite unique. Have a look. In this footage, we have a deer gazing directly into the camera lens, displaying a sense of curiosity. As we take a closer look at the image, it becomes evident that there is something peculiar and odd about this deer. The deer's antlers show an unusual configuration, with one extending from the top of its head and the other positioned just above its eye. While it may seem unusual, such antler defects are not uncommon and are examples of various animal anomalies. Instances of deer antler defects abound, arising from diverse origins. Antler defects can result from factors such as nutritional scarcity during a mother deer's pregnancy or hereditary traits passed down through generations. Despite its unique crown, this deer carries onward a testament to adaptability. It navigates the forest with grace, embodying the spirit of its kind, a symbol that nature in all its quirkiness continues to flourish despite the challenges that come its way. Still on possible Bigfoot sounds, listen to this one from the woods of Pennsylvania. Here's yet another Bigfoot story set in the midst of woods during what appears to be the fall season. As is customary, the trees rely on stored sugars, and with the leaves unable to produce as much food, the chlorophyll breaks down, getting rid of the vibrant green hues of the leaves. Amidst the gorgeous yellow and orange foliage, there is an undercurrent of something eerie. Pay close attention. You hear it, right? The question arises, which creature could be responsible for this sound? While it may bear a resemblance to an ambulance passing by, there is a belief that this sound aligns with what you'd expect a Sasquatch to make. At least, that's what the uploader thinks, but what are your thoughts? For our final footage of this episode, let's take a look at footage that is both alarming and also capable of keeping you up at night. If you're jumpy, this is going to be a roller coaster ride for you. This YouTuber visited an abandoned bunker he'd been to before on 2 occasions, but never had a strange encounter. However, this third time did it for him. Like they say, the third time is a charm. As he was inspecting the empty bunker, you see a piece of wood lift and fall, sending a chilling sound echoing through the bunker. The once confident adventurer almost abandoned his seeing as he bolted straight out of the entrance. After he calmed down from the scare, he went back to look further, but this time he didn't notice the next encounter until he was reviewing the footage. There, in the eerie hallway, a dark figure pops up and disappears again. This guy was the only one present, so what was that? A ghost or evil spirit? You tell us. While it's common to witness animals perching on trees as if it were an everyday marketplace affair, I'm still utterly flabbergasted. It's the second time I've been proven wrong. Goats are exceptional climbers too. The location of this video clip remains unknown, yet it's clear the camera was strategically positioned to capture this astounding sight. White goats scaling an impressively tall palm tree. That alone doesn't suffice. It raises questions about whether these goats are specifically trained or controlled to perform this feat. Could the recorder have inadvertently placed the camera upside down? Well, forgive me for sounding skeptical, but the palm tree stands upright except for the apparent slant or curvy posture to it. Did I just describe a tree as being curvy? Oh, forgive me, but you get the idea, don't you? Either way, coming back to the video, if you know anything about goats, it's that they love to climb. I know that. All the members of the team know that. But it's simply hard to believe climbing palm trees was simply a part of their resume. Wild. Pilots must witness some incredible things while soaring through the skies, especially with the increased reports of UFO and UAP sightings. Take a look at this fascinating footage captured by a pilot flying over the Atlantic Ocean. It was nighttime, and the pilot spotted something unusual ahead, two colorful orbs hovering in the sky. At first, they appeared to be interacting with each other, almost as if they were circling one another in a synchronized dance. Then something astonishing happened. One of the orbs suddenly shot off at an incredible speed, disappearing into the night sky, while the other remained hovering silently. This sighting is both mesmerizing and mysterious. And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.